Dudes,
We're here.
the man, the myth, the legend right here, Tim.
What's up? What's up?
Loving the new setup.
Right? So, pardon the interruption look is now our new thing. You'll see over here, we've got our lineup where we're talking about our segments. And just like Pardon the Interruption on ESPN, we could get off schedule from time to time, but we're now totally organized for your entertainment and information. So let's get into it. We're ready to talk about the market. And here you have current snapshot of the last week on the market. Things are looking better, but things are starting to slip. Bitcoin's up around 19%. It had been up quite a bit more, and we'll talk some more about that. But things are definitely trending better. So that's a good thing, right?
Yes, sir.
And some of the alts are still continuing to flag. You can see there over the course of the past week, we have some of our alts that still are lagging behind. And I'm looking at you, Cardano, and Doge, and Internet Computer. Ooh, that was up over 100. It is not looking good at all. Down 26% over the past week and continuing to flag. So that's hurting. A lot of our alts are mixed, as you can see over here in our kind of Ethereum world. These are our Ethereum tokens. Matic, though, is not looking bad. But, hey, you know, the rest of these guys are a mixed bag.
A little roller coaster
That's right.
effect going right now. Up and down, up and down. What we've been seeing in the last week.
We see some surprising things. For example, a lot of these DeFi tokens, like our favorites SNX and Nexo, are not doing well. Don't really understand why. Everything has really been shaking out after the whole Elon Musk debacle. So, gee, thank you very much, Elon.
Brother with that.
Exactly. Oh, I need to get my clock started. Okay. So that's where we're at on the market. And I think overall, we're seeing a reversal in the works on the short term. But keep in mind, we don't want to let short-term market situations really drive our attention. Of course, we want to keep an eye on it, especially if you're a day trading type of person, which we don't really encourage. You're going to see a lot of people on, hey, look, there's Michael Zare.
Nice.
He says that looks like stock market symbols. Well, thank you for noticing.
It's pretty close, Mike, but we're doing the crypto. It's very similar to a stock, except, you know, in the long run, you're not going to lose any money. You don't really have to worry about losing any money.
It's just like the stock market, except real money without the government interfering with it.
There we go.
Yes.
Tim always has a better way of explaining things.
It's just like the stock market, except you don't have to worry about the Fed bailing out their crony buddies in the banking industry. So think of it that way.
That's right.
But yeah, once again, you're going to see, especially if you get on YouTube, you'll see lots of people pitching short-term kind of investment scenarios and stuff like that involve TA and TA is technical analysis. Not even a digital stock market, because even the stock market is really digital. You can get apps like Robinhood and Webull and do stocks on your phone. But remember, the stock market is not a real market. The Fed has completely eliminated risk and consequence from the stock market. because the Fed has insulated the entire industry from real market conditions. And it is not healthy and it's not a good thing. Whereas cryptocurrency is absolutely become the real world of real market conditions. Not that it's not subject to manipulation in certain ways, but it's nothing like the fakeness of the stock market. So we can certainly talk more about that, on a dedicated show, but just don't want you thinking for a second that we're talking stocks here.
It's just a 7-day recap of what cryptocurrency itself has done in the last week. So we only went back 7 days, and that's given us percentages, and everything in the red has lost percentage, and everything in the green has gone up. So that's all we're showing you.
Exactly. And then we want to cover some of the major news that has governed the stock market and the hedge funds and stuff like that.
Show me.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. The Bitcoin price bottom is in, says Fidelity exec, as crypto market exits extreme fear. So what are we talking about here? Well, there's a index that is being kept on a daily basis where they measure the overall sentiment on Bitcoin and the overall, I would say, kind of cryptocurrency space. So extreme fear and extreme greed are the two things that we look out for, because those are sentiments within the social media space that tend to do bad things to crypto. So we don't like extreme fear and we don't like extreme greed, although when those things happen, it presents opportunities for people to get into the market. So the technical analysis you see here is that basically these guys are saying that Bitcoin failed to do bad things, the indicators that they would have expected to see if Bitcoin was going to go down even further, failed to materialize, and fear and greed index has rebounded from its low of around 14 up to 38, which is approaching a neutral territory, which you see here on this index. So generally, as greed goes up, the price goes up. As fear becomes the metric, you see here the value is at 50, 100 is greed, and 0 is fear. That's a good indicator of where the price is going to go. So you want it somewhere, on the high side if you want the prices to go up. You want it somewhere on the low side for prices to go down. But extremities tend to be, shall we say, bad for overall stability, because that's generally not where happiness lives, if you see what I mean. So I need to fix this. It seems that scene finish duration auto start. There we go. Is that what I want? Let's try that. So we've got. Well, that's not working either. We need to be on hedge fund. There we go. So the hedge fund managers are always looking at that, and we are always cognizant of where is the fear and greed index, right? So speaking of hedge funds, we have our next story here. Within 5 years, U.S. hedge funds expect to hold 10.6% of assets in cryptocurrency.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. So a new survey of 100 chief financial officers at hedge funds worldwide has indicated that the sector is planning a significant increase in its exposure to crypto assets in the near term. Now, why is this important? This means institutional funds, institutional organizations like hedge funds, which are big financing organizations that deal with either big time Wall Street investors or even like retirement funds, municipal workers that have 401ks that are looking to invest their money. If they are investing in cryptocurrency, that means billions of more dollars going into the space. And that's why tracking that is important, because the overall market cap of cryptocurrencies goes up. And with that, more investment means a healthier market space for your retail investors like you and me. So more investment, a bigger market cap means each currency is less susceptible to these kind of market manipulations. It also means the overall value potential of your investment goes up. And if we take a look here, we got Mike there commenting, kind of like supply and demand driving prices up. You want to take that one? You know all about that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it kind of is like supply and demand, except I mean, I don't really know why they would be. I mean, the only reason I think that why they would be putting that much money into it is because they know it's not going to fail.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they're putting that much of their own money into it instead of a bank somewhere, that just means that they have that much more confidence in it. And
Yeah.
they're aware of that. So, you know, that's what they're doing is kind of what we want to keep our eye on, because if big people with a lot more money than me are doing it, then I kind of want to hop on that trend too. So it's kind of trending up. And you know, other than Elon Musk, which brings it down with all of his stupid tweets and all of his other stuff that he's doing, if people are doing this much money and they're putting it that much into it, then you know, we want to kind of be trending that way too and keeping track of it. Because if they start taking money out of it, who knows, you know?
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's exactly supply and demand, in the sense that these investment firms know that if they keep their money in dollars or in the stock market, then their investors are going to lose. They're going to lose out on investments. So they're going to take their money and go someplace else where they're going to make money.
Right.
So all these hedge funds, and you know, not just hedge funds, because hedge funds are a specific market within the industry, but all the other retail investment brokers, banks, et cetera, all going to join the hedge funds. They're going to follow that money as well, because of the same thing, like you said, Michael, supply and demand. They're going to look at the fact that people are making money in this space, the prices are going up, and their investors are going to demand performance. So they're going to jump in.
I think it's the interest rate as well. Like for some portfolios and some wallets, the interest rates that you have, that you gain off a certain amount of crypto or a certain cryptocurrency in itself, you could be making, I mean, the more money you put into it, the more money you're going to get back at the end of the year or each month, however it's set up.
Yeah.
So you're only going to make money. It's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
Unless the market just completely comes to a, like, I shouldn't say market, because I feel like I'm talking about the stock market. I'm talking about cryptocurrency in itself, not the stock market. Sorry.
Right.
But
well, it is a market.
It is a market. It is a market, but we're not gonna. We're kind of trying to stay away from the stock market thing, because we're you know, strictly cryptocurrency here. But it is a market. But
let's say, for example, you know, just talking, you don't want to lose value, because let's say we're talking crypto, and we'll look at the actual interest rates. But Michael, stay tuned in, because we're going to take a look at the interest rates here.
Yeah.
And I want you to think about this just from a pure investment portfolio standpoint when we get to the interest rates, and keep this in mind, because Yes, there are reasons to buy and hold cryptocurrency just from a pure investment standpoint. But even if you didn't want to invest in something as volatile as cryptocurrency, there are things called stable coins. And we're going to take a look at those stable coins. And the value of stable coins don't move. So a stable coin, for example, one is called USDC, the US dollar coin. Okay? And it's a cryptocurrency, but it's backed by the US dollar, meaning for every one of these crypto coins, there is a dollar deposited in the bank for that cryptocurrency. So it's always going to be equal to a dollar. The value doesn't move. But then there's about 15 to 20 of these stable coins out there. Take a look at the interest rates that these stable coins are getting when we get to that segment, and think about what kind of investment potential that gets compared to what the bank gets you.
We're already going way over on our timer here, but
yeah,
so do the PTI guys.
Yeah, that's right. So does PTI. And look at what kind of good questions Michael is.
I know.
The initial investment cost is entirely up to you. I mean, we invest $10, $20 all the time. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to get started. It doesn't require a large initial investment. You don't have to go to a financial institution to get started. You can start with your phone and your driver's license just to get started, and it's an app, and
we can get you all set up.
Yeah, it's totally simple, and it's not anything like opening a checking account, which you need your birth certificate and your firstborn child in order to get that done. So, but let's keep rolling along here and take a look at the dot news here, because that was kind of interesting. Coinbase listed dot, and guess what? There was a big jump on dot. If you remember, we talked a little bit about dot. It's one of these cryptocurrencies that's high on the list of market value, and it's growing. It's gotten lots of upside moves as Coinbase listed the coin, and it's come back down again because people are taking profits. But Coinbase listed it, signaling that it's going places, and there is reason to believe that it's going to continue to go places. So if you're a Coinbase customer, it's a good idea to keep an eye out for when the Coinbase coin, or when the dot coin hits your Coinbase. You may want to drop a few bucks on dot, because it's definitely going to be around in the future, we think. Again, this is not financial advice per se, but this type of news should not pass you by without you taking a look at it.
Wow.
There's a downtrend going on with a lot of these altcoins, and the fact that it's pushing up despite tells you a lot. Dot is a sort of a blockchain of blockchains, and it's done I think it's going to rain.
You have some clouds in the area. I got some yesterday.
Dot is definitely an innovative approach to making blockchains work, particularly Ethereum, because of what we talked about before. Did the NSA just turn off our lights again?
It did. Somebody's listening.
NSA, it's one of these days.
Fucking Elon's hacking us.
That's right. But the thing with DOT is it is helping get the traffic off of the Ethereum blockchain, helping them scale. And if you remember, we've talked in the past about how Ethereum is great with its DeFi and its smart contracts. In fact, just yesterday, I was watching CNN, and there was an advertisement on CNN, like I'm watching the commercials, right? And there was an advertisement on CNN for Ethereum. It was the first time I've ever seen a TV commercial at all, let alone on a network like CNN. I've never seen one. Right? For an investment portfolio, one like BlackRock or somebody. Mm-hmm. Can't remember who it was. But so it wasn't a very good commercial. But the thing that stood out to me was, wow, an investment portfolio group is advertising Ethereum on their thing.
Pretty awesome.
And yeah, it was amazing. So Ethereum has scalability problems, and DOT is one of the ones that's going to help with that, and that's made them extremely popular. So keep that in mind as you're looking. Now that they're on Coinbase, we think that's a huge vote of confidence to have Coinbase list your coin, and I think it's going to just continue to go up. So keep that in mind. The Bitcoin bulls story. So we've got a survey that says Bitcoin investors are more bullish than ever despite the recent crash. Isn't that interesting?
It says, despite Bitcoin and the wider cryptocurrency market experiencing one of the worst crashes in recent history, investors are apparently more bullish than ever regarding the future fortunes of Bitcoin and a host of altcoins. So
the survey's findings revealed that 81% of respondents are more confident in the future of cryptocurrency, even after the violent price crash in April and May. So I don't know. It's
be patient, people. That's what. Be patient. It's not gonna. I mean, I'm guilty of doing the day thing where I check all my stuff, and I don't nearly have enough money in there to be doing that. But I'm just being honest. So
yeah. Well, I think it's a good thing. It shows that the market is resilient, that individual investors are resilient. And having been through about 20 of these crashes myself, I can just tell you it's going to roll right along and it's not going to be adjusted. So be patient. Michael asked, what is the app again, please? So more than happy to talk to you about that. Coinbase is the one that we were just talking about. Coinbase. That is a good basic one to get started with, whether you're using an Android phone or an Apple phone. It works on both of them. It's a good basic app that gives you access to a good number of about 30 to 40, I think, cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, they just added a couple. They just added AMP. They just added, I know that. They just added a couple more. I don't know the names of them. So yeah. I can't remember the names, but they're always adding new stuff.
But here's the nice thing about Coinbase. They have classes that you can take on there that will give you free cryptocurrency for taking quizzes after doing the class. And they're not classes like, you take hours. And
it takes It takes 2 to 3 minutes, if that. So I think the longest one is like a 5-minute and it goes in sections, but it's super easy. You can't really even get a wrong answer.
Yeah.
And then they give you free cryptocurrency. It's not much, but it's a couple. It's like $3 to $5 depending on the coin, and it's just a little way to get you started and get you into it and get you familiar with using the app. Really, that's all. It's like a startup tool or a startup thing to just get you more familiarized with the website.
Yeah, and it's a great way to get your portfolio started because who knows, you get these cryptocurrencies for free. It's just a few bucks worth, but then maybe you throw in a couple bucks more yourself. And, 5-10 years from now, that couple bucks that you got for free could end up being something, really, really worth some money.
Or you can turn it into another. You can transfer it to another cryptocurrency. You can turn it into Bitcoin. You can turn it into Ethereum. You can turn it into a lower costing one like VeChain or something like that to give you more, more available. I don't know how to really explain it, but you can turn $3 into 300, VeChain or something like that. It's not that low, but I'm just giving you an example.
Well, the perfect example of this is that in 2013, a guy bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. Okay, he convinced a pizza place to sell him a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. That pizza is now worth $400,000. Okay, the guy who sold the pizza doesn't know what he did with the Bitcoin. The guy gave him the Bitcoin. He was like, "What is? Okay, I'll accept it. That's fine." He lost the Bitcoin. Has no idea what he did with it. That Bitcoin is now worth $400,000. So I like to use that as an example. What you earn on Coinbase by just taking a couple of classes, or just by automatically picking up $20 a month or whatever. Who knows what in 10 years that could be worth because of how lucrative this market is. All the economic conditions that are going on in the world, inflation blowing up, et cetera, et cetera. Don't underestimate what just a little bit of investing could possibly do, because we've seen it happen already. Again, not financial advice, but learn for yourself. Take a look at this stuff. And we don't want veterans to miss out on what's going on with this, because it's really powerful stuff and potentially life-changing for people. Think about how that guy feels. You had 10,000 Bitcoin and you just lost it. Oh, man, I can't imagine. Can't imagine what that feels like. All right, so let's take a look at some of the interest rates as they stand today. The new ones just came out yesterday, so we can take a peek at the latest. This is on Celsius. This is one of our favorite apps for locking in interest rates. SNX continues to be one of our favorites for earning interest. You're getting 13.99%. And just as a reminder, this is just to deposit your cryptocurrency. You don't have to do anything weird with it, anything like that. If you just buy Matic or SNX on Coinbase and then just transfer it over to your Celsius wallet, then you're getting this interest rate, and this is paid out weekly. So every Monday you get a payment with this type of interest rate. And once again, Michael, we were just talking about this. Where in the world can you get these type of interest rates, especially like from a bank account? Can you even get 2% in a bank account anymore? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Pennies.
But even on the stock market, if you got a year's return on the stock market of 14%, that's an amazing year. Well, you can duplicate that just by purchasing here, and putting it in there. Now, SNX is subject to fluctuation, but it's also fluctuating to the high side, so not bad. You can see the other ones, they adjust through here all the way down. But here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter, just how good of a interest rate you're getting on these. The fact is, you're getting free cryptocurrency every week just by making a deposit. Okay? So we like these, particularly when you're getting like 6% on your Bitcoin, 5% on your Ethereum. I don't know what that star is on the Ethereum, on the Bitcoin one.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up, because I deposit Bitcoin here, and I don't.
I do too.
I still get my payments, so I have to look up what that star is.
My chair is about to fall apart, but
we'll
deal with that on that.
Okay, remember we talked about the stable coins? Let's say you want to, you want to take part in getting these interest payments, but you don't want to buy a cryptocurrency that's subject to downside price movement. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want to get interest, but you want to invest in a stable coin. So you know that you're not going to get any upside movement. For example, you could buy SNX today, which is about $9 a coin. When I first started buying it, it was about $20 a coin. Okay, obviously the latest price crashes have brought that price way down to $9. So that's a huge downward price movement. Mm-hmm. Now, if you buy it today at $9, a year from now, it could be back up to $30. It probably will be. So that's a huge upside potential. But hey, there's also the downside potential. You don't want that.
Could go down to $3.
Exactly. So stable coins are where you can still earn interest without the downside potential. So you see you have TUSD, GUSD, PAX, and USDC. Now, all of these are just different variations of stable coins that are put on by different people. So GUSD, That's Gemini's USD. So Gemini is a different exchange. They have a different app. They're much like Coinbase, and that is backed by US dollars as generated by Gemini. Those are the Winklevoss twins, the guys who did Facebook with Zuckerberg and got screwed and everything. You saw the movie. That's those guys. USDC, that's Coinbase's stablecoin. But as you can see here, they're all the same. PAX, I can't remember who does PAX. I don't know who does TUSD. But the bottom line is, if you go to Coinbase, you can purchase USDC on Coinbase and then transfer it over to Celsius and just let it sit there and earn 8.8% just by letting it sit there. It's not going to lose any value. There's no downside risk to speak of because Coinbase isn't going anywhere. And you're just going to get 8.8% on your stablecoin. That's amazing. Once again,
Better than a bank account.
definitely. And if you get 9% in a year on, the stock market and get that year over year, that's really successful on the stock market. So now that the Fed's involved, who knows if you'll still be able to get that or not. But the bottom line is there are great investment opportunities to have very low exposure to risk while putting your money to work and getting a good return on your investment with these interest rates. So we'll continue to keep an eye on the interest rates. There are even bigger opportunities using DeFi. We talked a little bit about that. Check out our video that talks about DeFi. There's some really big interest rates available on DeFi, but that's really kind of advanced level stuff. If you just want basic stuff, that's where we're focused here with Celsius, and we highly encourage you to take a look at that. Not financial advice, once again, but there are some huge opportunities out there that you need to educate yourself on in ways to look at this, because there's really no reason to let your money sit around and miss out on this, because this, there's great stuff happening, and we don't want you to miss out on it, right?
That's right.
So let's talk now about El Salvador, the savior.
The Bitcoin legal tender mecca.
Yeah. So if you remember the reports from last week, El Salvador voted to make Bitcoin an official, what do they call it? Legal tender.
Legal tender.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Legal tender in the country. And that makes them the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender.
Are they going to put a president on the Bitcoin?
I don't even know the name.
I don't know either,
El
but
Salvador
that would be awesome if
Right.
they did. They just take over.
And since they've done that,
Yeah.
now lots of other countries, like I think Tanzania is the next country to take a look at that, because it basically levels the playing field and totally obliterates so many problems that countries have by using the dollar. Because, I'm sorry, the US dollar is not built to help small countries in trade or in business. It's just not. I mean, imagine that. It's built to help us.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are doing that. But the latest news is that El Salvador is talking about paying their employees in Bitcoin, or at least giving them the opportunity to get paid in Bitcoin. So that would further stabilize the economy, because the dollars are not getting deflated constantly,
Right.
and the entire market economy of the country could be stabilized into a inherently deflationary currency that really helps the employees getting paid in that, because their value equation over time really goes up. I think Bitcoin's up 9,000% since 2013. I mean, think about what that potential means to government employees in a country like El Salvador.
That's right.
So that is really big news, really interesting. Obviously, hey, there's downside risk as well. So, you know, what could that possibly mean? Well, I think the more countries that do this, the less downside risk you're going to see, because more and more countries get into this, the more stabilizing effect that's going to have on the price. Just like we said with financial institutions, the more money that gets into it, the higher the market cap gets. When national funds start getting into it, it's going to become harder and harder for that price to move to the downside. And we're going to see more and more stability. So speaking of stability, we're talking the 41,000 level is the big question mark. Traders are looking for a reversal of the crash that we were talking about that happened a couple of weeks ago. And that daily close at 41,000 would confirm in most traders' minds that total reversal and breakout for the price. That crash has definitely had everyone hating on Elon Musk, hating on the price, and as we pointed out in our market analysis, huge implications for the altcoin sector.
The less expensive coins.
Yep. So just keep an eye out. That's the bottom line, is keep an eye out for that 41,000 price zone, because that zone, if Bitcoin can close above 41,000, in the minds of most traders, would be the final signal to show that Bitcoin has recovered from that crash and is back zooming forward. And most analysts think that if that recovery can take place, then we'll see even higher highs by the end of the year for Bitcoin than we've seen previously, including a new all-time high. So that's what we're looking at. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
So as you can see, when we started the live stream, Bitcoin was at about 40,100, which right now, we'll refresh our screen. It is at exactly 40,112. So,
it's getting close. We're almost there.
Yeah. 40,185. We're down to 40,112. We're right in that ballpark. Keep your eyes open. It could be very close. And when that happens, sky's the limit. So we're excited.
I hope so.
Yeah. What do you think, Kyle? Anything else we're missing?
I think we pretty much covered it. We tried to get it in as quickly as we could. I know an hour is pretty long for the listeners, but just keep asking questions. And if you are subscribed to the Warrior Healing Center page and you have more questions, come and see us. We'll be happy to answer them for you. Yep. So if Michael is still listening, just come on by. We'll give you the rundown in person. You don't have to...
Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll see it every time we go on. And add your questions and comments. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And like Kyle said, we're here for you. Just want to show you what we've learned. And we're constantly scouring the news and trying to keep you abreast of the latest in the business. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time here on Combat Crypto with Crypto Veterans.
That's it.
Out.